Hello and welcome to week 11 in Statistics for Psychology, and we make a bit of a transition. We've been talking about statistical tests to determine significance. And what we've been doing basically is we've looked at correlations to see if the relationship, either a positive or correlation, is significant enough for it to have meaning. And then we've been looking at scores, how they compare to standards that we know are used significantly different from what we would generally expect. When we move into the t-test, not the single sample t-tests, but in any one of the other t-tests that we're going to be doing, what we're doing is we're comparing groups. One mean to another mean. And right now, this first one, what we're looking at, comprises two kinds of studies. And that is the kind of study where you have one group of people, you test them on something, your dependent variable, you get the mean, and then you wait a while, and during that waiting time, you do an intervention, or you're changing some circumstances, or you're just seeing the effective time, and then you measure those same people again. So it's the same individuals. This is the matched pairs. I think it's the matched pairs, something like that. The related pairs, there's lots of different terms. You have the group is being measured twice. And we used this particular t-test to do that. We're looking at the mean before and after this, pre-test, post-test. In that kind of experiment, we're looking for significant changes in the mean. So if my intervention is, let's say, a stress management particular intervention, I measure stress before, I do the stress management, I measure stress after, and see if there's any significant differences in the same people. In addition to that, this particular test also covers the classic test group versus control group. And we could do the same sort of study if we took two groups. Let me start with this. You have one big group, and you test their stress, and you get the mean for that group. Then you randomly put them into two different groups. One group gets the intervention, the other one doesn't. And then you measure whether they're different or not. It's the same test, but in this case, there's two different sets of people. In the first one, there's one set of people. We call them matched pairs because when we do that dividing in the test control group, we try to make those groups as similar as possible. In the test retest, they're exactly the same group of people. In the test control, we have two sets of people, but we do make efforts to make sure that they're very much the same. So this one test covers those two different types of design. Very, very popular designs in interventions. So we have a discussion, and in part of the reading about this, we talk about the idea of making experiments. And oftentimes we're in social situations in which we respond in a particular way. Maybe we would like to have responded in a certain way. Maybe we wish we had responded in a different way. And maybe we would have liked the opportunity to sort of test those out. You know, somebody confronts me. I really would have liked to said this. I wonder what would have happened. What if I had tried this? What would have happened? What if I had done this? What would have happened? These, of course, are not experiments that we actually carry out, but in the discussion, I would like you to share instances in which the situation is done, but maybe there's some other ways you wish you could have maybe tried something else. And if you go back in time and repeat it a number of times, describe how you'd go back in that situation and maybe try different ways of responding to it. In the assignment, it's a test group versus control group assignment where you're going to be applying the related pairs, samples, t-test as described in the course book. So again, this particular chapter is looking at the kinds of experiments, the kinds of studies where it's a test, pre-test, post-test with the same people, or you have a test group and a control group. You've probably heard about those two different designs, but this one test covers both of them. So, good luck with this week's material, and take much care, and I'll see you next time.